Hello and welcome to episode 26 of our Timberborn Update 6 Apocalypse Mode playthrough here with the Iron Teeth in Cycle 17, Day 40. Got 25 and a half days left of this bad tide, and last time we continued in our quest to expand farming and improve a bunch of stuff around the map, and we also started the process of putting in a, well, it's not really a diversion so much as it is just a feeder to this big old reservoir right here, and we've got a lot of stuff to do still to make that viable before we have our next temperate cycle. So before we kick things off, I do want to talk a little bit about what else we're going to be doing here based on your comments, which are always helpful. So what we're going to end up doing here is a couple of you pointed out the way this is currently set up, you know, assuming this is actually blasted out, which it isn't yet, but it will be. The way this is set up, this is only going to be overflow, and we also have these dam pieces here. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to replace these with regular levees. And unfortunately, somebody thought it would be a smart idea to go ahead and remove all of these platforms, so we are going to have to redo that. But there's a relatively simple way to get that accomplished without being too painful, and that's just to put a suspension bridge here. And then we can, of course, continue building this nonsense as one does. And what I'm going to do for the sake of, you know, making this make sense is I'm just going to attach this here like so. This isn't all going to stay like this, but I want to make sure they can actually reach this. But how we're going to solve the it's only overflow problem is we're going to create a, I guess like an extension of the aqueduct from our source blocks. Remember that currently we're sending all of the bad water out this way. What we need to do is just kind of extend this here and then hook it up to this, and then make it so that, if you remember the first live stream series we did with Update 6 in late June, early July of 2024. Wow, that was a long time ago. But we did a kind of a thing where we put in an aqueduct above terrain and then put sluice gates on the side to let that water out. So we're going to do something very, very similar to that, and make sure that this can still exist as an overflow, but that the bulk of the water is going to go through and fill up our main reservoir. That's a very important thing for us to be accomplishing. But like I said, we got a lot of stuff that's in the building queue. We have 25 and a half days, so I think we're probably going to be able to get it all done. But you can't get it finished if you never start. So, triple speed, on we go, while I talk about the rest of the stuff you guys want to fix. Because there's a lot. There's always a lot with these apocalypse mode videos. It's a very complicated, very difficult playthrough, and it gets really overwhelming at times. But you guys do help me keep on track, so I appreciate it. This pond here, we're just going to have to go ahead and start filling it in. So it's just a small irrigation channel feeding out this way. Saw a couple different comments for different strategies to do this. A couple of you wanted to see a 3-wide irrigation channel. But I'm not exactly sure. It's going to be whatever it ends up working out to be, and I'm not really going to be worried about it. But we are going to want to focus on getting as much of this water into the reservoir as possible. So in my mind's eye, that's going to mean a pretty simple, pretty narrow channel. This is only a 0.75 strength water source. So actually, let's, because I always forget, get a lot of requests to turn on, or turn off fog mode, rather. But yeah, 0.75, that's the strength. Go ahead and get that out of dev mode so we don't accidentally cheat. And yeah, what we're going to end up doing is, I'm pretty sure, just making this go straight out the way here. And yeah, I know it's a little less exciting, but with the 100-day droughts and bad tides looming, which we still haven't had one. We got 83 days and we survived that just fine, so I honestly think we're fine. But I do want to make sure that we're going to be able to fill this as much as possible, fill these as much as possible, and just get everything done that we need to get done. So, all that being said, it is time to start placing stuff down here. I am going to focus initially on just getting a channel put in place, and then we can fill the rest in later, but the main goal is to just force the water along a specific route and just move on with our collective lives. We have a little bit of access to get down in here if we decide we want to have stuff go a certain way. It's probably going to be the easiest way to do this, to be perfectly honest with you. We're going to have to get rid of these blockages if we're going to fill this in. That's going to be kind of a nightmare to deal with otherwise. So we already have this here. Otherwise, I would just put in a whole bunch of ladders or whatever. But yeah, if you haven't noticed, we got a lot of stuff that the beavers have to build, and I don't really have a lot of extra beavers to take away from other jobs and put into builders' huts. Because there's, you know, a whole lot going on. So they're going to be working on this as they have the time and the ability, and that's just going to have to be good enough for us. Another thing that I'm pretty sure we don't have in District 7, a couple of you guys brought to my attention, take a look at our well-being. We don't have any tooth grindstones, and we do have some beavers that are cutting trees down, so would not surprise me to find out that we do have some beavers who are unable to work and can't fix their teeth. So I'm just going to pop one of these, you know, kind of out of the way, make sure that these trees are all marked for cutting, which they are. I was pretty sure, but there are some over here that weren't. We did have a couple comments asking to check and see if all of our trees are marked for cutting, so always a good idea to make sure that's the case. These are all looking good as well, and so on and so forth. We do have we do have a gatherer flag that can get all of these berry bushes. We are out of berries, but these are growing in, and you know, things are going to be okay. It just might be a little bumpy for our beaver reproduction for a little bit of time, but I think that's going to be a-okay. Yeah, see, these are all looking fine. We do have this additional forester here, and somebody did leave a comment saying that we could go ahead and plant some more mangrove trees. Honestly, they're not really a huge priority of mine, but we do have the ability to make that happen. And also, you know, this guy already has access down here. So I'm going to go ahead, just for the sake of, you know, us getting stuff accomplished and get those planted in place. I was going to blast this out as well, but again, there's so much going on that the beavers have to do that it's really not going to be possible for us to do everything in one episode. But it's always a good idea to check and see how your food stock is doing. Obviously, our hydroponic gardens do need a little bit more attention in terms of producing materials. Frequently get comments asking for me to make sure that we have adequate storage for everything. So it is a smart idea to go ahead and take a look at that. Generally around 1,000 each is what people have been asking for. And for all of our finished foods, we are at that point, except for kohlrabies, but nobody cares about those, so I'm not going to waste time with it. And of course, mangrove fruits we aren't stockpiling anyway. But the main foodstuffs are looking good. The raw materials, we got 1,200 for algae. We've got canola seeds, that's going to be fine. Cassavas, raw cassavas, we really don't. But we're also not really growing very many of those yet. Maybe something to keep in mind. Corn, we've been good on that. Eggplants, good on that. Mushrooms, good on that. And raw soybeans, we don't have any storage really for those, but we're also not really producing that many. So, again, just stuff to kind of keep an eye on. This is our raw food stack, and it's going to be super easy for us to just add more large warehouses on top of that. Come on, click please. Thank you. Go ahead and pop our ladders in place. I guess I could go ahead and just flip this that way. The eternal problem of which version of the game am I playing and which version of the ladders mod am I playing and which weird stuff has changed in the last little bit since I've done anything. So I just default to putting these platforms in. Even if they don't need them, I'd rather build it and not need it than, oh, you went 3 episodes with your ladders not built. How could you possibly be that dumb? It's happened before, and it'll happen again. I can absolutely promise you it will happen again. So let's just head that off at the pass and move on with our lives. Making my way through the list. Unfortunately, not on a piano in rush hour traffic, but no, that's a throwback. Let's see. Oh yeah, these showers here. These are unfortunately positioned in such a way where they're not really very useful, very accessible. And I was going to put them in a different location. I just hadn't really found a great one. And I honestly don't know that I have a tremendously good location for this. But I think it might as well just go ahead and pop the showers here, because that is going to be a lot closer to our barracks, and I want to fill this space in anyway so we can plant stuff here. So we will go ahead and get those built, but you know, they got other stuff they're taking care of too. So it is what it is. Now we need to have storage for cassavas, and then we needed to have storage for soybeans. So those are going to go there. And we probably should have thought a little bit more carefully about how this was going to be set up. But we do have the option, if we so choose, to go ahead and connect these things here with bridges over to this stack of platforms, at least in a few points, so that the raw can go across the way over to here. Obviously, they still have to process it, so it's really not that big of a deal. But storage interconnectivity is a good idea, almost always, and that's something we should take a look at. Additionally, since we're over here with the hydroponic gardens, we do have to have some storage for water nearby, because these guys aren't really having it. So I think ticking the prioritized by haulers is a good first step. I could have done this from the menu, and then it wouldn't have made the annoying sound every single time I click on it, but sometimes it's funnier to just do that anyway. Since we don't really have anywhere great to put anything, I'm just going to take the easy way out and pop in a little water tank right there, just so they have something, easy access to all of that stuff. Oh, I think this one's been bugging some of you for a while. These flooded buildings, these are the bad water pumps that we put in for emergency purposes before we built all of this. So I got to be careful when I remove this. Okay, that is blocked off. Because as soon as I get rid of this, the builder beavers are going to want to come grab all this stuff off the ground. So I did have to make sure that was taken care of, which it is. And that's looking just fine. Don't think there's any real cause for concern there. Let's see, we got 20 days left. We are starting to run a little lower on water than I think I'm comfortable with. But we have 22,000 in storage, and we have almost 6,000 headroom that hasn't been filled. These guys are pumping. We probably need to have some more of these water pumps in place. I just have to figure out where I'm going to do that. You know, that is one of the reasons why I originally built these here, was when it was full, we could pump real quickly. You know, best laid plans go to waste and all that stuff. So, let's check back in on how we're doing here. I think these are, yeah, these are incredibly low priority based on what these guys are doing over here. But we're going to have to do all of it at some point. So I honestly don't even know what they're trying to build next, and I'm not sure how they're going to pull that off. They got building materials. We got planks. We got logs. We're not really short on any of this. I think it could just be an issue of these beavers aren't fully optimized. Speaking of not being fully optimized, I know we're drinking through a fire hose. I removed a scavenger flag and did not replace it. So let's just be kind to ourselves here and put this guy back. I know this isn't the best place for this to go, but I just want to make sure we're still getting scrap metal, because, you know, at some point we're going to have to build smelters, and they haven't even gotten to this yet. I don't even know what they're building, so let's click on this guy. Dehydrated and starving. Well, that's a tough break, bud. Well, now you're just starving. Where are you going? Where are you going? Don't tell me you're going all the way to there to get... No, we have food stored here. We have food at home. So why are you carrying dirt? Okay, so they're building this. I'm pretty sure there's a dirt storage over here. Or, you know what? There should be... Oh, they're still building this. Okay. Well, that's understandable. I did tell them to build that. But we're going to be filling most of this in, like I said. So, I'm going to go ahead and... see, that's for metal blocks, that's for planks. Let's go ahead and just put a large industrial pile for dirt. I know it's one of these things that they still haven't gotten around to, and probably won't unless we force them to do it. So let's go ahead and have them build this dirt storage and get that going. There's only a little bit left for this. I'm not really going to feel too bad about them, you know, taking their time on that. That's probably fine. This guy can easily plant some more oaks while we are waiting here. Just get plenty of usage out of our space here. I don't really have too much other space here. I did want to leave this open for further storage buildings to get put in. So there's a lot to consider here as we are going about our business. I think in 18 days, if I continue pumping, this is going to run out. It will not all evaporate in 18 days. So in the interest of getting more stuff done, I'm going... Actually, I need to pause the ones that are furthest away. Pause those 6. And then let's check our numbers again here. I'm going the wrong way. We do have 2 empty jobs. We have 6 incapacitated beavers. We do have enough beds, so that's not a concern. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to import just 2 of these beavers so we can actually get some more stuff accomplished up here. Just fill all of our jobs, and I have these guys who are extras. I don't... See, there's not really that much construction or any construction, really, that's happening in here. So maybe this would be a good opportunity for us to continue expanding our hydroponic gardens. I know we're going to have more of those. Mushrooms are holding pretty steady, and we do have 1,300 of those, so I am just going to build 1 more of these hydroponic gardens set to algae, and we'll see how that affects everything. Make sure... Oh, somebody made a dumb. That would be me. I forgot that this did that. So, easiest way to solve that is to, first of all, don't do that. Rotate, because we know that will connect very easily right there. It's not going to be perfect, but nothing in life ever is. And if it is, you are probably dreaming and it's time to wake up. But, man, Inception was an interesting movie. Didn't really make a whole lot of sense, some aspects of it, but it was entertaining. At any rate, no goods selected. Wait, what? How long is this? Oh, okay, they just built this. This is supposed to be storage for berries. Or no, it's supposed to be storage for coffee beans. So I guess they are kind of catching up on the rest of the building queue here, it looks like, maybe. Yeah, okay, because they are bringing in stuff for the overhangs. And we seem to be doing okay. We just, have to keep trusting the process, as one does. Continuing to take a look at my list of comment-type things that you guys were asking for. We've already talked about most of them. The big-ticket items, at least. There's always a whole bunch of stuff that I just simply don't have the time to get to. But I do think we've made a lot of tremendous progress with that. Why does this still say... sometimes stuff just happens to me, and sometimes I just actively do it. Why does this work coming through the back of the ladder? But, oh, okay, no, I think I know. It's because this one's connected here and this is hanging down, but this breaks. I don't know, man. I'm trying to do the most with the least, and it obviously has not panned out tremendously. So I think what's going to happen. Oh, this is gonna be super annoying. I'm gonna have to replace those. Oh, I wish I could see the rest of this before I hit delete. Yes, let's remove just down to there. Okay. Yes. We've cut off access to so many things, but it's going to be worth it. It's going to be so much easier for us to continue doing things. I'm not going to say correctly. I'm just going to say slightly better. Yeah, but we'll just go ahead and get this all set up. They can rebuild all this. We have builders that don't have anything going on. Just bored sitting on their tails. That will solve a lot of problems, but it is unfortunately going to cut us off from some stuff until they can get the rest of that stuff put into place. There's one more thing that we hadn't talked about this episode in this area, and this is, our metal processing here. No reason for this to be here. We don't even have scrap metal, honestly, so I did pause that, and we have these woodwork shops. We probably would be better served moving the woodwork shops up here because we already have a bunch of plank storage. We have a ton of plank storage, actually. And I think that would be a smart thing to do. But this area was not set up with the 4 deep buildings in mind. So I think what's going to have to happen... I'm going to take a look at our... Okay, so that's actually more or less perfectly matched. Let's see, that would be 1, 2, 3. Yeah. I'm just going to go ahead and move this around a little bit. Let's blast that out. Basically, we need to make space for a couple wood workshops. We probably don't need more than 2, to be perfectly honest. But I'm going to build 3 because that's going to fit really nice and it's going to make me feel better about myself. So that's going to go in there. And then behind it, these take 250 HP apiece. And remember, we're in... Well, we're not in vanilla, but we have the default amount of power being produced by an engine is 400. So we will need to build 2 of those to give us 800 HP for the 750 HP draw. And we can easily just pop those guys back here. Should not be a terribly annoying process. Just got to make sure we have our clearances, which is going to require that we move those 2 out of the way, and then make sure this is good to go here. That one will fit there, and then the other one will go right next to it. We have easy access to plenty of planks and wood without being too far away. This is getting blown up, and then that has to get put in place, and then I'm going to end up rotating this hauling post. I think, or, you know, honestly, I'll just move it somewhere else. There's no reason for me to lose any sleep over the way this has been popped in. But I will go ahead and get these 3 put in place so they can start, and then I'm going to move all of these actual industrial things out of here. I do want to keep the motivatorium because this is already in place. So we'll just have to put in some power shafts, get that taken care of. But that is a project we will have to kind of go in and out of for a little bit. 15 days, I think based on the depth we're looking at, we're going to be fine to just leave this as it is. Hopefully, they're making nice progress, because honestly, I really should be focusing on building the rest of this thing here. That does need to be taken care of. I don't want to blow this up, and I don't have to blow this up until the very end. But they still haven't gotten that taken care of. But I am growing a little concerned about how this is going to be managed here. I want to blow all this stuff up, but I kind of can't wait. I don't think it's really going to matter. We're not going to have that much overflow, if any. So let's see here. I need to make this 4 wide, so we have room for the sides. I haven't unlocked any of these, but I have 11,000 science. That's fine. I'm just going to have to be able to make my way across here. See if can I unlock all of these? Yeah, I think I've got the points for it. Let's just get that grabbed out, and we just need to make sure I've got these sluices here. I'm very afraid to mess with these at all while it's a bad tide, but seeing how it doesn't come up here, we can go ahead and remove these when the time comes. When the time comes for it, we can remove those. I think we'll be in a pretty good position. I just need to get stuff going, I guess, right about here. Do I have... Oh, I got so much. Yeah, let's just blast this down so it's not going to be in the way and, you know, give us a little bit more capacity. Probably what I should have said. Come back to this in a little bit. I want to make sure... Thank you, autosave. This is working out decently well. Get the rest of this built up. That's done. This is done. We have other hauling posts somewhere, and if we don't, then I'm an absolute idiot. Let's... well, that could also be true. Alright, we want Beaverburg. Wow, that was the only hauling post? That was a blunder. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to put the hauling post over here because the hauling beavers are going to actually have other stuff they've got to do. Besides, sit on their butts in the building, so it doesn't really matter where that goes. May not be a popular thing, but I think it's going to be okay. So this is going to be 4 treated planks. We already have a storage here. Just pause that so they can't make any more. Make sure that's set to empty so we don't accidentally have too many. This is supposed to have... Oh, okay, because the haulers are... Somebody made a dumb mistake getting rid of the hauling post, just like that. But this should get built pretty quick. It is #1 priority. Those things will all suffer if that's not finished, but it looks like that's going to be okay. Now, how are we looking over here? Yeah, not really tremendous here. So, you know, now I got to ask myself, why did I... This is the wrong thing for me to... All right, let's hit pause, or I'm going to run out of time. This was not the correct thing for me to put here. I don't know why I did that. There's no reason for it. Pretty indefensible, honestly. But we do have the time to correct mistakes. It's a very important part of learning. So if I put a 5x and a 6x, and then this also ends up becoming something else, let's just get these beavers off of this. Get that away. This stupid, absolute buffoonery occurred here. But I put the 5x there, and then this all is going to be... There's going to be a 6x here, but it's not there yet. So now I've just got to decide, how is this going to come in here? I guess it doesn't really matter, but I probably should build from both sides and check and see. See, that's going to come in from that way. It does have to be at the correct height. So let's just check this. Okay, yep, that's the height that I need. So if that's going from there, and assuming this is going to go straight the way across here, then it's going to have to make a turn, which is then going to have to... Ooh, okay. So if that's only going to reach there, it does have to go 3 more blocks from where it's currently reaching. I think if my... Yeah, okay, my brain wasn't playing tricks on me. 3 more blocks from where it's currently reaching for a total reach of 9, which means I'm going to have a 4 and a 5. So if I do a 4 here, you know, you're going to have to bear with me on my... It's time for JC to do mental math. Everybody duck and cover. All jokes aside, we're just going to get it done. That's all you can do. That is too high. I should have done a 2. All right. I assure you I'm using 100% of my brain power. It's like the, what was that movie? Wait, did I do my math wrong again? Yes, I did. Okay. Color me shocked. Who's got the bingo board? Okay, so that's going to be the outside corner there. This is going to go here and go... You know, I could have done this with more overhangs, but I'm not very confident in the quickness of our metal production, especially because they haven't built this yet. But they're working on it. They're getting it done. We did run out of scrap metal, and I do think that was a huge part of the reason why that was a problem. So let's get that taken care of. I want to lay this all out before I forget about it, because it's going to be bad. It is going to be like cataclysmic if I forget about this and don't do anything. So that's going to go there. We're just going to not worry about blasting this out because we do not have time, and I'd much rather us just, you know, actually get something accomplished. So 3 here. Oh, you know what? I don't have to use the 6x. I can just use 4s. Now, does it really matter in the grand scheme of things? No, it does not. But, thank you, autosave. If I have the opportunity to do something in a way that's not completely stupid, I probably should do that, you know? Yeah, see, this is just going to use... To put an overhang on top of this and then overhangs on top of the overhangs is just going to use so many more resources than is necessary. Even if it does look better, we're in a mode now where we just got to get it done, you know? Not to the detriment of the quality, but we do just need to get it done. And seeing this, I think we're going to have a slightly better time at building this if I move from there over to here. We are going to have to move our water pumps out of here, but that's going to be fine because they're going to get relocated. Just have to match our heights. That's a 3. Does that match this? No, not really, but yeah, I can't do it to myself. Can't do it to myself. I have to have it match. Gotta do it. So, if I do 5s from here, obviously we still have to blow this up, but that's going to put this nicely in the corner. And I really don't want to put in more land to fill in this space, nor do I think that would be terribly quick. But I like stuff to look nice. Probably to my extreme detriment every single time that happens, but that's just the way the cookie crumbles. If they build this, then we're going to be in decent shape. Just need to focus on getting stuff done. So putting this here, I think is going to be good, because that's going to allow them to walk their way across as this gets constructed. But honestly, this might be a little ambitious for 13 days. Might be just a little tiny bit ambitious for 13 days, but we'll see what happens. We do know that this is ready to go as soon as that gets blown up. We just have to have more beavers taking care of stuff. So down here, we did lose a few beavers, I think, because we didn't have a whole lot of the berries ready to go. But that problem is resolving itself with great expedience. Love to see that. We've got these trees growing as well. We got trees getting cut down. We've got more trees getting cut down. We got these over here still being planted. There's still tons more that I wanted to do over here that we have not gotten to yet. And that is at least a little frustrating, but that's just the way it goes. I am going to go ahead and I'm going to pause construction of these large tanks because we need to be spending our resources on other stuff. Specifically, getting smelters up and running, making more metal, because right now nobody is making metal. So the things that make metal should be prioritized over the things that consume metal. And this guy needs to be getting scrap, which it seems is happening. I'm going to go ahead. I know, I did the ugly. I did the ugly. Hope you'll find it in your heart to forgive me. But they're going to take care of that. Get more of this stuff going just as fast as we can. Can't catch me, etc. I've got 624 dirt. I'm going to take away 3 of beavers from there because I want to employ them as builders, and these currently are not employed as builders. I'm going to pause a centrifuge because I think that's probably fine. Explosives factory, I'm not going to need more than 233 dynamite, so I'm going to pause that. Now, I have to remember that I've paused these things, but I think you can appreciate what we're doing here. I do have 2, now I have 3. I should have another one coming in pretty soon as well. They're not cutting these trees down, even though we've got a lumberjack flag, and it's marked. We did check. Maybe that's just a speed thing. Okay, 12 days. 12 days. How are we looking here? How much water do I have up here? 1,000? Okay. Time for those 2 to go away. That's going to give me some more beavers I can set to work on other things. I think we should be making some decent progress now. That's all taken care of. Let's come back and check on water levels. Okay. Looking, I mean, we're probably going to run out. And we have enough, so I'm going to pause all but two pumps. Now, we have the automation. Let's hit pause. We have the automation that I never set up for these, so let's at least make sure we set all of these to unpause when a temperate starts. The rest of it, in terms of, pausing or whatever, I'm not going to worry about for right now. I just want to make sure, because as well as I do, I'm going to forget. I will absolutely forget to turn these back on, and then bad things will happen. That will be much funnier for you to watch than for me to experience firsthand. So just kind of set that one off before it becomes an issue. Now I've got 3 unemployed beavers, and I've got... Oh, I have an unemployed beaver. Okay. Well, for the sake of what we're doing now, I think we are going to need to have a scavenger flag. A couple more. So I'm just going to pop in 2 more there. Get these beavers working. Take care of all that. And I guess I can follow one of the builders to see what they're actually working on. Okay, scrap metal going over here for the smelter is what that looks like. Now, this is an important thing, but it's not the most important thing. We're going to be okay even if this just fills up and the overflow is what goes in here. So I'm going to deprioritize all of that so they come over here and work on this stuff. Just take a look and see. Probably, I mean, there's so much stuff to do. I can't possibly get to everything. But I do try to, you know, actively improve stuff. I do actually care about things not sucking. So, just try to keep stuff monitored decently well. Yeah, at this point, we just got to build. Build, build, build. Good news is we have a smelter ready to go. I've got a storage for the scrap metal and the metal blocks. Let's have that set to obtain. And then, just to give these guys a fighting chance, let's put in one of these set to supply. I know it's not super far, but every little bit counts. So we do have these beavers working as haulers here that we can do some other stuff with it. Did they take away from the builders again? Now, see, I don't want to take away haulers, but I think we're just having a bunch of beavers get injured. Yeah, because they have the big bad smelter. I'm going to pause the coffee brewery as well, just so we can get another beaver in doing something else. Looks like this is ready to go. Yeah, that's going to be fine. It's not perfect. It's not perfect, but it's going to be okay. Now, you might be asking yourself, why are you getting the triple dynamite blasted down here when you know for a fact that you're just going to put a block here once that's done? And the answer to that question, like many questions, is because I can. Also, it's going to look a whole lot nicer. I think that's going to make more sense. Eventually, when we, you know, keep expanding this, assuming we're going to continue this series and have a bunch of other stuff happen. But we do want to be able to get as much of this done as we possibly can. That is the goal. And I think I'm going to have to catch my mistakes. So they okay, they got that taken care of. That's good. That does mean that the suspension bridge can go away. I'm not going to cry about 6 logs, 6 planks. That can just do what it's got to do. This right here is going to have to go away because we do have to replace it. I've got that platform there. That is going to be an opportunity for us to actually use terrain blocks for what they were intended to be used for. And then pop in a platform here, and then another, not a 6x, 5x. There we go, folks. Process continues. We got a whole 25 metal blocks. Yes, sirree. But the good news is, this won't be that horrible to build. And we should be able to successfully finish. If not by the start of the temperate season, definitely by the end. Remember, we have between 7 and 14 days. And they're going to do what they have to do when they're able to do it. We'll just have to sit back and let them accomplish what they got to do. That shouldn't be too terribly bad. Do remember, though, this is update 6, so the smelters do take 4 hours to make a single metal block. Which is unfortunate, but I think it's going to be necessary for us to put in a couple more of these if we're going to have any chance whatsoever of accomplishing any goals whatsoever. So these are going to have to be prioritized here. Actually, that one probably needs to be first, along with that. Yeah, I mean, we got enough beavers taking the scrap metal down, and we should still have enough scrap metal accessible from these guys to make the rest of what we need without it being an issue. Oh, this is still making nothing, but it had an animation. Okay, well, that needs to be paused. We did move that. I know I got to get rid of this at some point, but right now my focus is on, you know, finishing this bit, because that's very important. Got to get that done. Got 2 extra beavers. Well, that's actually perfect because these are going to need to have staffers. And it seems like we're in pretty good shape. We just need to get the rest of the scrap metal brought in. This guy is going to be started. Very good. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and time-lapse the rest of this bad tide. And we're going to try our very best to get this diversion thing taken care of. And hopefully that will be all finished, ready to go by the time we get our temperate. Well, it is a temporary temperate cycle, but you know what I mean. So we'll see if the improvements that we made are going to make a tremendously helpful impact on our ability to get that done. If not, then, well, that's really going to suck. But you know how it goes. We'll see you on the other side. All right, so cycle 18 begins. And we did get a lot of work done on this. Obviously, it's not finished. You can see that. But I think we can still feel pretty good about most of this. It is going to take a little bit of time for this to fill up enough for this to even matter anyway. So I'm going to choose to count that as a win. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to remove this levee here. And then this levee here, because these are going to need to be made into sluices. I just chose this random arbitrary point. Actually, you know what? I lied. I'm going to leave those in. I'm going to not put a sluice here, or not put a sluice, not put a block here. Then I'll take this one out as well. I'm just going to leave this suspension bridge in until such a time as that is something that we can afford to get rid of. For right now, we did have, unfortunately, a massive die-off of a bunch of crops because we ran out of water. But it was only with, like, I don't know, 2 days left, so thankfully we do have this from the New Manuba district taken care of. Irrigating a little bit until this can make its way through. It still says 1% contamination, which is wild. I didn't think that was even possible, but there we go. Now it's open, coming through, filling up nicely. This will continue filling up. We did not get to the terrain to get this all situated, but that's okay. The main thing was trying to get this taken care of. Are you kidding me? Come on, man. Like, really? You gotta be joking. These beavers always get stuck. Always get stuck. But they'll get freed immediately as soon as that's taken care of, so problem kind of solved, I guess. Alright, so this is slowly filling up. I did remove the overflow here, which means we are going to have these couple things blasted out, or at least one of them. So that is what I will go ahead and do, because this is rapidly starting to fill up. And we're going to have to remove this path connection so they have no temptation of crossing it. And we're just going to set it off and hope nobody's stupid enough to try to walk across all this mess. Alright, here we go. Nobody die, okay? That dying is strictly prohibited. Good job. We almost had a beaver casualty here, but they decided they wanted to live. So, congratulations to them on that decision. We'll go ahead and get this situated here, because the water is rapidly filling up, and we want to be able to get all of this extra water flowing in here sooner rather than later. All right, nobody die. All right, do me a kindness. Good choice. So this is not going to let. Wait, is this guy still stuck? How in the heck are you still stuck, dude? Fine. Let's get rid of that. You got trapped inside the block. Idiot. I can say that because now these aren't named after boosters anymore, because I haven't fixed that yet. How are you still stuck, dude? How? Did it move him under? It pushed him underneath. Are you kidding me? Oh, that's so annoying. I'm not going to be able to get him out. Not in time. So, bad news, bud. You're done. It's over. You're toasted. Wait, did I not? Oh, I made a Classic blunder. Classic blunder. Now this is going to flood all of this, and it's going to be really funny. Let's get that prioritized. That's already prioritized. All right. All right, come on now. We'll take the long way around, probably. Oh, yes. Let's flood all of this because somebody made a mistake. That sounds great. I love that. Love that for me. All right, come on, Dynamite. Set it off. There we go. There we go. Now this can all get... oh, I disconnected all of this because they haven't built the platform. Don't tell me you can't get the materials to build this. Well, that's simply not acceptable. Ooh, we don't have them. Okay. I'll tell you what. Our industrial lumber mill should put quick work to that. And we are filling our reservoir with the overflow here. It just didn't quite come out as I intended. But, you know, it is day 3, and we are sending extra water this way. It is working beautifully. The districts just kind of aren't connected right now, which, yeah, you know, it happens. It happens. So food situation did take a little bit of a nosedive since we killed all the crops, but overall, I think we're still looking pretty good. Most of the foodstuffs are close enough to max capacity where I don't think I need to worry about it. We did have a lot of these jobs open up because these got unpaused. And I did make the comment that I need to put in more of these pumps. But, see, here's the thing. I don't have beavers for that. So right now we're just kind of at the mercy of how much we're going to get filled up. I'm going to say I can pause those 6 things and be fine. Not need to worry about it. At the very least, this can be pretty reasonably taken care of now that that's connected and the beavers are unfortunately out of water because somebody didn't have this set up correctly. This guy can go back to work, getting stuff pumped out. The level should increase soon enough for me to turn this guy on, but I'm not going to take any more beavers away any sooner than I have to. So our status of this thing is that it's actually going pretty well. I don't think I need to worry about too much else in terms of actually finishing it outside of putting in the impermeable floors, which I will go ahead and lay out. We will have to make sure that we get rid of these paths at some point. But thankfully, at some point in one of the many Update 6 patches, hotfixes, whatever, they did change it so that these can be placed underneath the stairs and the pathways. So that was a very helpful change. Pardon me as I mute the microphone for 10 seconds to hack and cough and wheeze and take a drink of water because apparently nothing is ever healable. But we're trying anyhow. I think our stranded beaver has died. Unfortunate, but I'm going to chalk that up to a skill issue, and we're going to move on. And they should be able to, not that it matters right now, but they should be able to get this finished in pretty short order with what we have going on here. And it looks like this is now ready to be turned back on. So that's good. That's going to solve a lot of problems. I'm going to go ahead and deprioritize these builders' huts because this is no longer of incredibly huge importance. It's just one of those things we got to get done. That's looking good. And down here, all of these crops have been replanted. Stuff is continuing to improve. Food is trending up again. Water storage is increasing. We're not going to take 73 days to fill it, but we are taking those steps to get stuff taken care of here. Got plenty of extra capacity for right now. We are going to continue pumping aggressively, but I am just very interested to see if we can get this completely full, because pretty soon I'm going to be able to turn these emergency pumps on. That's going to be really helpful. I know we have these that we never ended up building, but that's going to be hopefully pretty soon, next day or so, we can turn those on. We haven't gotten the warning yet, which does mean we have at least 3 more full days. But we are in the range of time where we could possibly get that drought or bad tide warning. So I'm hoping we can get the full 14 just so we can see if we can get this reservoir completely filled up, because I know there's a bunch of you that are waiting with bated breath for that to be a thing. But you know, it just takes time. Alright, so we have at least 1 more completely full day. And this is essentially complete, I think, with the exception of the very entrance right here. So let's go ahead, get the rest of this cleaned up, start removing the pathways we don't need. Only the pathways, not the, not the actual tiles. We did learn that that was a thing, and they did patch that out, so I'm thankful for that. But I'm going to go ahead and get that staircase out of the way, because what we've got to do now is we've got to come in. I mean, we don't have to remove these, but it's just so much better when you do it that way. We need to go ahead, and we don't have to take this out. I can just, period point blank, keep these permanently closed. But I'm going to move up here these sluice gates to be like that, and these are going to close above contamination. Not close above downstream depth. Never, ever, ever. And that's going to allow this to go all the way up and get everything coming through here. And take a look at that. We are functioning. I'll put this back on. And that is because this is a total of 3. 2 wide, 2 sluices, whatever, is going to be perfectly fine. I do have to get rid of this nagging little lump here, but that's not going to be a big issue at all. Everything is flowing in here. The fill level is increasing magnificently, and I can turn these 3 pumps on. Probably should finish the rest of these, and then there's one final thing. I know we're not quite done with this episode yet, but there's one final thing we're going to do. Bad tide time in 3 days. Okay, so we'll get the full 10 days, or I guess technically full 9 days. And then the start of day 10 is when we'll get our bad tide. We don't know how long it's going to be. But I think we've got, in 3 days, if all of this is actually flowing into the reservoir now, which how did that get turned around? It should be, yeah, looking really good there. I think in 3 full days we can probably get this most of the way full. Now that we have this going in. We also, I mean, it doesn't matter because the level is still the same. But we do need to put in some, these things, levees. That's the term. Yeah, just put these things in here. And then I'm going to have to be really careful about this stuff. These are just closed. These are set correctly. This one is set auto-closed, closed below contamination 1%. That's fine. It is a lower level than this. I expect that to be okay, but there is an issue possibly that we could run into with some splashing because of how high all of this is. So I'm going to choose to go ahead and put in, I guess, if I want to be really anal retentive about it, I'll just fill this entire thing up with 1 more level. Get that just taken care of straight away. I think they can build this in 2 days. You know we have enough builder beavers to do it. How do I have 2 homeless beavers? Oh, because I got 50 beavers up here. Okay, well that's inconvenient. Let's solve that because we really don't need to have it. Wait, how do I have... I have a minimum of 48 and I'm not... Oh, that's right. I put a breeding pod in here. Okay, well, we can go ahead and just send 2 more back that way. Why did I do that? There really wasn't a reason for that. They're getting it done. The rest of the builders are going to come in, then we'll just bring this right the way across. I know you guys really love it when I do this one piece at a time. I know that's your favorite thing ever, so I won't keep you waiting. We'll just go ahead and get started on that. And that's just going to be a fantastic time for all. But I'm really happy that this is taken care of. I did fail to put in the sluices here. I just figured this was a little bit more important to have that completely blocked off. In fact, I'm a substantial degree afraid at this point that something horrible is going to go wrong and I'm going to need to put sluices here, but we're not quite there yet. Not quite there yet. I probably should have like a fail-safe thing here, but that could be a little bit more advanced than my brain realistically can handle at this point in time. So we'll let these guys do what they got to do. 16-hour days, I probably should increase it a little bit, but at this point in the game, there's not really much else we can do. And I now realize there's no chance this is going to get finished before the bad tide actually starts, and we might actually have some undesirable things happen here. But I think we're going to be okay. Look how high this is. Good, 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 good. We're going to get one more, probably one more, most of a block here, which I am totally fine with. Okay, so that's finished. I wasted time already. Get that put in place. I don't know what else could possibly be ahead of this in construction. I'm pretty sure we finished everything. Those of you screaming at your computer, just put them on use priority. No, I will not. Never, ever again. As long as I play this game, it does not work. If it works for you, great. It doesn't work for me. Although, logically, I don't know how that would really be different, but the beaver game is sometimes unknowable. Alright, I'm pretty sure once they actually start bringing that stuff in, I can go ahead and place the next one. They'll start bringing the pieces for that. Looks good. We might, you know, we might actually, all I need is to put these others in. We might actually get it done, folks. Might actually get it done. So that's already in place. That's already finished. No, I want to click on the path. All right. This is the only one that has to get put in. Folks, I think we're going to do it. We're going to get it done. And that is great because this is going to be super fail-safe because all of this can just spill over here and then off the side of the map. And no one will ever be hurt again in the history of time. And just to make it look nice, let's go ahead and pop in another levee here. But it's the end of the day and our beavers are tired and they want to go home. So we'll let them do that. And yeah, just like I suspected, we're just about, by the time this day is fully over, going to have a mere 3 block height worth of room in the reservoir left over. And this is a considerable quantity of water, folks. That's a lot that we're going to be able to get through. Don't know how long this bad tide's going to be. And we are only at 19,000 waters, so that might be a little bit less than desirable. So let's go ahead and do our end of episode fun here. Beard Boosters, I really appreciate you. Seriously. I literally can't do this without your support. It is not feasible to continue doing these super long series. But you guys make it possible with your direct financial contributions, keeping the channel sponsor-free, except for Mechanistry. Hi, friends. But seriously, can't do it without you. I really appreciate you. And I'm excited to see where we go next with this, including how long is this bad tide going to be? How long? How long? How long? 88 days. Okay, that's a solid 2 episodes right there, unless I time-lapse. But, yeah, let's go ahead and hit pause real quick, just so we can be absolutely certain that stuff is working out. I believe... Yeah, see, this is already paying big dividends. That's tremendous. We already knew that worked. We already knew this worked. And I have no reason to believe that this doesn't work. So, that, friends, is absolutely fantastic. Made some nice progress today. We've got still a lot more to do, but I really feel great about this. And I'm excited to see what happens next. Obviously, we need to keep pumping, and we will absolutely pump all of the water we possibly can. We do need to address the issue with this being killable. We need to put an irrigation thing in, because all the stuff over here is fine. But that's all stuff we can tackle in the next episode, so let's go ahead and say goodbye for now. Have a fantastic rest of your day, whatever it is you're doing. Stay safe, have fun, and we'll see you later. Take care, friends. Bye-bye.